On December 7th, Councilmembers Skibeshian and Snyder requested that staff prepare a resolution reaffirming the city's commitment to inclusivity. Presented for your consideration is a resolution entitled, "A Resolution of the City Council of the City of South Pasadena reaffirming the City of South Pasadena's commitment to diversity and to safeguarding the civil rights, safety, and dignity of all of our residents." And I'm available for questions.
Council members, any questions?
There is a typo in the title of the resolution. Reaffirming is not spelled correctly.
One M, Rick, and take out the N?
Well, AFFIRM.
Oh, IRM, okay.
ING.
Thank you. Chief City Clerk, are there any cards?
Yes.
Can you call out the speakers?
David Beadle.
And who's next on the cards? Just one?
Just one.
Oh, just one, okay.
What?
Welcome, Mr. David Beadle.
Just before we start that 3 minutes, hello. My mother Celia is from England, so be on your best behavior. and whether you like who I am or not, you can either blame or praise her for how I turned out. So.
Welcome, Ms. Beadle. We welcome you so much.
And I was going to say, Madam Mayor, thank you, Diana, for all your work that you've done this year. And City Council members, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank you for drafting this resolution as it typifies an end to a successful year in your leadership, Diana. It is also important for our city to draw a line of where we stand as human beings, to show that our values are the true values for freedom, equality, and compassion. So many leaders in our country talk freedom, but for only their own kind and creed, whilst attempting to curtail the freedoms of others. All forms of government, from federal to state to local, are only as good as the people who lead and run them. If leaders of particular institutions believe that some humans don't deserve protection for whatever reason they choose, then you will have a cruel government. Judging by our President-elect's tweets, reprehensible demeanor, and his cabinet posts, we are about to have a very cruel government. The next 4 years are going to be a trial for all those who believe in decency, compassion, and love. But by acting locally tonight, we have taken a small step forward, but it doesn't stop here. All of us who fear the next 4 years need to take part in the recovery of decency and deny the worst ideas of humanity to flourish. I fear even the smallest terrorist attack will bring us a Muslim registry and the specter of internment camps. The fact that neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups have been emboldened by the Trump presidency and that the Republican Party has not pushed back against these people is worrisome, to say the least. Yesterday I watched an excellent, uplifting movie called Captain Fantastic. You have to watch it. It's a brilliant movie, but one of the best of the year, and it's available at our local video store now. And there's a quote from Noam Chomsky, who I'm actually quite a fan of. I like Noam Chomsky. He's one of our great intellectuals of our time. And it reads, "If you assume that there is no hope, you guarantee that there will be no hope. If you assume that there is an instinct for freedom, that there are opportunities to change things, then there is a possibility that you can contribute to making a better world." Unquote. If you want to make change, then I recommend people who are watching to join the local South Pasadena Democratic Club here in town, and we will be very active in the through the foreseeable future. And I am glad to see that our city council members are on the right side of good leadership. It shows through what you have done over there, not just on this, but on so many things in the city. And I am, for one, it's not Thanksgiving, but I am truly thankful for you as my city council members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David Beadle. Anthony, no more cards?
No other speaker cards?
Council members, discussion?
I do have a question. With regard to the title, reaffirming, there's no prior policy that's referenced in the body of the reso, and the reso reads as if it's an initial affirmance. And so it's my impression that perhaps this is an initial official policy, and if that's the case, then I think the title should be changed to just say affirming.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's fine. I have a comment.
Councilmember Kubestrian.
Thank you. I actually would like to thank David and other people in the audience who have spoken before, maybe not tonight, for really paying attention and articulating some of the concerns that many in our community are feeling and thinking. I'm looking at the way that the community voted, and clearly there was a large preference for the Democratic candidate, and of course, the Electoral College is what it is, and we have the results in a legal way, and of course we all like to see, like I said, a peaceful transfer of power. But I think many in our community are very concerned about the divisive rhetoric and the negativity and some of the comments. Not so much the party of the individuals elected, not so much Trump's political party, not a Republican issue. I think there's a lot of bipartisan consensus that obviously some of the language was very frightening to a lot of immigrants, to people of color. Certainly a lot of women felt very insulted by these comments. So I think for us to respond to the community and the concerns and to reflect the values of this community, I think this is the type of resolution that will do that, and I'm really happy to support it. I'm honored to support it. I would like to request that we read it. I think that would be, I think our audience would like to actually have us read it out loud. It's not very long, if you all would humor us. And Anthony's such a good reader, our city clerk, maybe he could do that.
Bob, did you want to ask a question or say anything before he reads it? Just before he reads
Yeah,
it, Bob.
that's fine.
Councilmember?
In fact, maybe we should approve it and then read it. It's up to you.
Let's read it first.
Let's read it first, yeah.
Let's read it first.
I just want a special thank you to Dr. Marina for putting this together. I know she spent a lot of time on it, editing it, changing, making modifications and things like that, and I really appreciate that, and thank you for putting this together.
Thank you.
I second that, Councilmember. I saw you working hard diligently for hours in Assistant City Manager's office. Very important. Any more questions or discussion before Chief City Clerk reads the resolution?
Please.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of South Pasadena, California, affirming the City of South Pasadena's commitment to diversity and to safeguarding the civil rights, safety, and dignity of all of our residents. Whereas the City of South Pasadena believes that diversity of backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences of the American people, native and immigrant, makes our nation, communities, bonds between neighbors, and economies richer and stronger. And whereas the City of South Pasadena is committed to protecting the civil rights and liberties of all of our residents, partnering with our community leaders to foster a positive dialogue and to speak against human injustices and abuses, and welcoming immigrants to our community. And whereas the City of South Pasadena values all of its residents and recognizes the rights of individuals to live their lives with dignity, free of discrimination and intimidation because of their race, color, religion, national origin, sex, gender identity, immigration status, disability, housing status, economic status, or other social status. And whereas the City Council stands firm with all of our residents and will work with the community to protect against acts of violence, intimidation, and discrimination that are rooted in fear, ignorance, prejudice, and hate. And whereas fostering a relationship of trust, respect, and open communication between city officials and residents is essential to the city's mission of delivering efficient public services in partnership with our community, which ensures public safety, a prosperous economic environment, opportunities for our youth, and a high quality of life for all of our residents. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of South Pasadena, California does resolve, declare, determine, and order as follows. The City of South Pasadena declares it is the public policy of the city to be inclusive and to respect the inherent worth of every person without regard to a person's race, color, religion, national origin, sex, gender identity, immigration status, disability, housing status, economic status, political affiliation, or cultural practice.
Thank you. I just want to also give credit to our city clerk, Anthony Mejia, who drafted an initial version of this. And as I was doing my research on this, many cities have passed it, and some are some are a lot longer and contain, a lot more kind of legalistic language, but I thought this was a good start. And also, I would have had more statuses, but our city manager had to take a few of them out, so.
Thank you, Sergio. Council members, if there's no more discussion, there's a recommendation by city staff that the City Council of South Pasadena adopt a resolution entitled, "A Resolution of the City Council of the City of South Pasadena, California, affirming the City of South Pasadena's commitment to being a welcoming, inclusive, and safe community."
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anthony, if you take roll.
Councilmember Mahmoud,
Yes.
Councilmember Kubestrian,
Yes.
Councilmember Joe,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Schneider,
Aye.
Mayor Cacciati.
Yes, passes unanimously.
How do you expect to disseminate this to the general public so they actually know about it? Because as we saw in municipal elections, we only have 20% people turn out, which is very sad. But how do people who don't read the wonderful South Pasadena Review, how else are we going to get the general public to know about it?
Thanks, David. Go on.
Okay.
Sit down, thanks. Sergio, do you want any recommendations, Sergio?
Well, I find it hard to believe that somebody does not read the local paper, but in that case, we are going to put it on our website. We're also going to be disseminating through our social media, including our Facebook page, and it'll also go out to over 3,000. I think we have subscribed to our e-neighbors, so it'll be disseminated widely. And again, it'll be on our website, and we'll also have physical copies filed in the city clerk's office. So 70, 80 years now, people can look it up, and we'll have it on file.
Thank you, Sergio.